Welcome to the video, guys. Thank you for clicking on the video. I always appreciate you guys watching these videos. Don't worry, I do plan on getting a haircut soon, right before my trip. This is getting to be very, very scary, I feel like. Anyways, it's Friday. It's almost the weekend. I am just chilling, relaxing. Oh, tired a little bit. I hope you guys have been enjoying my videos. I am trying to do almost a daily upload, just with filming in advance and things like that, so it takes some time. Not gonna lie, you guys are seeing these videos. I filmed them probably maybe like almost a weekend out in advance, so it's not really like current, but I'm trying to do what I can for this channel. And right now, I am just watching some YouTube, and Travis S. He is really great with his information for like bulking and also cutting and things like that. Also, of course, my other subscriptions, these are like all my subscriptions, but Alliance Fear. Now, you guys know Aiden Dowling. He is the one who actually inspired me to start this channel when watching all his FTM transitions and things like that. He is the #1 guy that had me inspired and had me wanting to start a YouTube channel like this to reach other people out there who are or were in my shoes when I discovered this guy. So I just want to give him a little shout out. Now, I am just pretty much sitting around and watching some YouTube videos right now. But there was a topic that I want to talk about in this video. And actually, Aiden inspired me to come along and talk about this topic. And his last video was I was fired for being transgender. I don't know if you can see that well or not. There we go. I was fired for being transgendered. So, I wanted to kind of touch on that topic as it gets to be a touchy topic for some people, you know? For me, I have to say, so when I started my transition, after I had my top surgery. Now, conveniently, and I was blessed to have found a work where the boss who interviewed me did not care that, I obviously looked more male than female, because I had not, keep in mind, I have not switched my name yet, switched my gender marker, nothing at this point when I went and interviewed for this job. So I was very lucky to have a employer that I met and a boss that I met and that interviewed me and was very open and had no reservations at all and hired me. I was very lucky for that. But this is now, I'm going back about a year. So when I first found out that I was going to have my surgery, me being the open person that I am, I didn't necessarily say I'm going to have top surgery because I'm transitioning to my employer, who was my current employer back then. But I kind of I told them, what it was and things like that. And I feel like, I don't know, conveniently after I told them what the surgery was, and I say them as in my boss and my coworker, because that was us in our group. That was just us in the accounting group, and then there was, HR, and then tons of other groups in this employer. But that was just mainly the people that I worked with and dealt with day to day. And so, conveniently, like, after I came out and I told my boss, then she just kind of started acting weird, and so did my coworker. And it was like 2 weeks prior to me getting fired, and that's when I came out and I told him. And it was just very weird on how they were acting, and I felt like something was up, and I wasn't sure what was going on. But I just kind of like rubbed it off, and it was like, whatever. It's just in my head, all that. But then when it came to me having to let go, and it was due to performance issues, which when I was like, what? So I was shocked. Didn't even process it with what happened. I just was like, just had to leave and walked out and whatever. And so I come home and I'm just sitting here and, I'm like, what performance? And just, I was just like, okay. Like, I contacted a former employer and I asked, I did their accounting work too. And I was like, how, did I make mistakes? Like, what happened? What did I do anything wrong? What did I do wrong? Can you help me out? And, they're just all around like, you gave your 110% every day. And, if you had if you had mistakes, they were minimal. But more than half the time, you'd always ask questions and get it right. And, I was just thinking about that. And now looking back, I feel that because back a year ago, I did not know I was going to transition. A year ago, all I knew was I was getting a breast reduction. I was getting all of my breasts chopped off, my chesticles chopped off, which is what I wanted. I didn't think about transitioning yet. It wasn't really in my head at that time until later on. So, I don't know. Now that it's just been so long and just thinking about it, I'm just, kind of like, I feel that was like the main thing that kind of lit a flame, and I was still pretty new too with the job, and so they said it was performance, but you know what, it is what it is. But it sucked, and yes, like even now when I've applied for other jobs and I've looked, I'm not sure when, because in May 2nd was when everything got changed. My name got changed legally, so did my gender and all that, and it's taken a while for all of this to process and things like that. I don't know if when they do interview me, and then if they run a background check before offering me a position, if like that comes up, and that's a reason why I have not been lucky with finding another position, which there's so many positions that I've applied for, and I am qualified for them, or even overqualified, and just not, I'm just not getting that. So I don't know. It all could be in my head, but that story though is a story of like being discriminated for being transgender and trying to find a job out there. Like that's why I've been talking with a Freedom for All. Just it's interesting how you don't realize how sometimes you're being discriminated until after the fact, after it's happened, even a year after it's happened, and then it's kind of like, well, damn, they were very shallow, or they were bigots, or it's just amazing how some people can be so open, so close-minded, versus some can be so open-minded, and some people that you even don't expect. Like, I'll be honest, my job that I have now, the boss that interviewed me, I was pretty hesitant and thinking, the way how I look doesn't match up with my name at the time, and there might be a good chance that I won't get it because of that. But obviously, that boss did not care, and that boss only cared what was on paper and not what I was physically. She obviously cared about what I was able to do, how I was able to perform, and if I was doing my job well or not. that was all that she cared about, which, it would be, you like to think that employers, that is their main focus and that is what they think, but sometimes it doesn't come off that way. Sometimes there are employers out there who really think about who you are or how you look, and sometimes that ends up trumping your qualifications, and it sucks because that's kind of like how I feel now with just a lot of things that I've been going through and things like that. But at least when it's all said and done, where I currently work, they all know I'm transitioning. They all know I'm a transgender male. They're all been trying to adapt to calling me he, and everybody has been so opened with open arms, and just welcoming, and it's very nice. But anyways, that is pretty much my story on being transgender and feeling discriminated in the job market. So I hope that kind of helped with anybody else out there. If you guys have any other questions, you guys have any comments, or you want any more information on that, just hit me up, hit a comment. My email is also available on my page. Please feel free to reach out to me, because I know my videos, my channel has a lot of different stuff. There's FTM, there's the transition part, then there's the meal preps, there's the working out, and there's food. But my main focus is to get my story out there to help somebody where I was a year ago. And that is my main focus. So please, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And you feel free to share my videos, especially if it can help someone else out there. And I look forward to talking to you guys in the next one.